Good morning, everyone. Did you know it's Palm Sunday today? That's why I've got these palms behind me. Have you got any big plants like this that you can find in your garden to wave around for Palm Sunday? It's also often the day that we find our palm crosses. You'll see in your email that I've sent out how to make your own palm crosses out of either paper or flax if you've got it. So let's start. So this week is Holy Week, and I'm going to tell you a very special story that comes from our book, the Bible. At this time in the church's year, we remember and tell the stories of some of the things which Jesus said and did. This story is about the last day of Jesus' life before he died. Holy Week is the most important week of the church's year. It begins with Palm Sunday. On Palm Sunday, we remember the day that Jesus rode on a donkey into Jerusalem. He was coming into the city for the celebration of Passover. Lots of people crowded around and waved palm branches and shouted, "Hosanna, blessings on the King who comes in the name of the Lord." They made a pathway of palm branches on the ground for Jesus to travel on. On Holy Thursday, remember Jesus' Last Supper with his disciples. At the Last Supper, where Jesus and his friends, the disciples, their names were James, Andrew, Simon, Jude, Matthew, Philip, Thomas, James, Bartholomew, Judas, Peter, and John. Jesus washed the disciples' feet. As a sign that he came to serve people, not to rule over them. Then they celebrated the Passover meal together. Jesus was very sad because he knew that he was going to die. While they were eating, Jesus showed them how he wanted them to remember him. He took bread and broke it. Jesus handed the bread around the disciples and said, "Take this bread, eat it, and remember me. This is my body." Then Jesus took the cup filled with the wine and said, "Drink from this cup. This is the cup of my blood." Jesus told the disciples to always do what he had done. This was the way Jesus wanted the disciples to remember him. After the meal, they sang a song to God and went to a place called the Mount of Olives. Jesus moved away by himself to pray. On Good Friday, Jesus was sentenced to death. Jesus was nailed to a cross. At 3 o'clock, Jesus cried out in a loud voice. Then he died. He was wrapped in a cloth by Mary and placed inside a tomb. A large stone was rolled over the entrance of the cave. The next day was the Sabbath, a quiet day of rest. We call this day Holy Saturday, and we remember Jesus' body lying in the cave. On the Sunday, some women went to the cave at sunrise. They found the stone rolled away from the cave, and when they went inside, the body of Jesus was not there. The women were shocked and wondered what had happened. Suddenly, 2 men in shining clothes came and told the women that Jesus had risen. I wonder what the people were feeling when Jesus rode into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. Why is it called Palm Sunday? On Holy Thursday, how do you think Jesus felt at the Last Supper? On Good Friday, why was Jesus sentenced to death? On Holy Saturday, why was a large heavy stone placed in front of Jesus' tomb? And on Easter Sunday, how do you think the big stone got rolled back from the entrance? And who were the 2 men in bright clothes? As we go into Holy Week this week, let's think about that story of Jesus in his last week. I've sent you some other activities to do. I hope you enjoy them.